Well, hello everyone. I'm sure it's morning now when you're seeing this. And well, today I thought we would talk about an older subject, but I wanted to bring it up again because I've been asked several times now about the F chord. It seems that there are a number of people, and it's real common, there's nothing wrong with this, it's just that it happens, that feel uncomfortable when they actually make that F chord. They're just still struggling with it. You know what, struggle is real, and especially when playing the guitar, but it's not a bad thing. There's studies that have been done about struggles, and struggles actually create strength. So it's not bad, but what you don't want to do is quit or have somebody do it for you. You want to work through it and learn how to do it. And I want to show you maybe an approach to that F chord that will make it possible for you to actually do it and do it correctly. I think when it comes to playing guitar, we want to fit everything into a one-size-fits-all, that everybody does it this way. But the thing is it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. And for some people, there's certain things that work, and for others, it just will never work. So you got to find something that works. And so today I might want to show you, I'm going to try to show you an approach to the F chord that might make it a little bit easier for you. So if it's something you don't have a problem with, you probably don't want to spend a lot of time with this video unless you're trying to show somebody else. You might take this little method and show it to them, just to kind of pass it along so that, you know, people that feel defeated by it can actually get a win. Okay, so here's how we're going to go about it. Now, when it comes to the F chord, one of the reasons why it's such a hard chord to do, I think, is because if you just reach over and you play the F, if your hand is not in the right position to begin with, when you approach that chord, it'll be very difficult for you to actually do it and actually get all the strings pressed down and for your hand not to be hurting. It'll be very awkward. You're using these three fingers and one of the fingers doing extra work. And so it can be awkward to begin with. But I'm telling you, if you can get your fingers trained to approach this a certain way, you're going to find it to be a lot easier. All right, so here's how I think we should approach it. Okay, so first of all, let's start by making an F chord, an alternative F chord. It's a way you could do an F chord, you know, if in a pinch, if you can't do the full F chord. So let me show you that first. Okay, so you're up here and you got to play the F chord. Well, we could play the triad F chord. It's just 3 strings, 3 notes. You're not doing the full F chord. But that means you cannot play, when I show you these 3 notes, you're not going to be able to play the low E, the 5th string, or the high E. Okay? You're only going to be able to play strings 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And it's a triad. That's why you can only play the 3 strings. So take your pointer finger, put it on the 1st fret, 2nd string, middle finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then your ring finger is going to go on the 4th string, and you're going to be on the 3rd fret. So it looks like this. And I'll put the chord chart up there. Okay, that's a triad, but that's an F. If you just play those 3 notes, there it is right there. Let's test it out. F always sounds good with C. Let's see if it goes together. There's C. So it kind of works. It sounds okay. It might sound better, a full F chord. Let's hear what the full F chord sounds like. Yeah, it sounds a little better. But you can still do it the other way. Hear the difference? it really needs that high E to really make it sound good. Not to mention, if you're going to use this chord shape in other places on the fingerboard, you want to be able to play all the strings for that chord. And what am I talking about? Well, this is the F chord, but if I move it up 2 frets, that becomes a G chord. And if I move it up 2 more, we're now looking at the A chord. And if we move it up 2 more, there we are with B. Move it up 1 fret, B to C. Okay, now we're looking at the C. And then we go up 2, there's D. And then 2 more, and that's E. And then 1 more, E to F. 1 more is the F chord. Okay, so if you have this shape, you now have all these other chords at your disposal. So it's really, really good to learn it. It's not something you want to ignore or avoid. You want to get yourself doing it. So every day I'm going to show you a method to approach it. I want you to practice it until you get to the place where you find that you can just reach up and play the chord. Okay, so you have your triad. You have to take a look at where your palm of your hand is. You'll notice my palm where it's at right now. See that? It's not out to here. It's not in here. It's just about, it's relaxed, but right there. See? Okay. And so that's a really good position for your hand to be in. The thumb is kind of almost over the fingerboard. You can't really see it. It's just a little bit. See it back there? It's not all the way in the center. It's just up a little bit. In putting it up there, you notice my wrist, what happens. I'm sliding it up, sliding it back, sliding it up, sliding it back, okay? So right now it's right up here where it's almost peeking over the fingerboard, okay? And that's very comfortable. Now, all I want you to do is you are going to slide that thumb to the center, and when you do, your hand's going to do this, right? And also when you do that, you'll notice that your finger is rolling over onto that high E. See that? So I'm going to call it the rollover. You start with the triad, and then move your hand over like this, and roll over. So start with a triad, roll over. That's the F chord. And do this method. Just do it until you get used to it. Every day do it a few times. And then eventually what should happen is you should be able to go up there and just find the position correctly and play it. Okay? But for now, to get to that F chord, make the triad and roll over. Okay? So that's a method that I think might help. And give it a try, and then write me back. Let me know if it works for you. But practice it, work at it, and watch where your hand is at. Make sure it's comfortable. It should not be way out here. It shouldn't, you shouldn't have your thumb way up here and, trying to do all this, but it should be back. And your thumb should be movable so that you can rotate your hand inward to actually roll that finger over. See that? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it'll help you roll it over, okay? All right. And another way to do that is just make sure your elbow is in. See that elbow of mine? I'm just exaggerating again, but everything's pulled in. Okay. So we're going to leave that right there. And I'm going to remind you, I go on the road trip on Wednesday. That's California Wednesday. It's not far away. We're talking a day away by the time you see this. I'll be on the road, and I'll be collecting videos and stopping at guitar stores and hopefully sharing with you some of my experience and adventures on the road. just for a couple weeks. And I'm looking forward to it and hope you are too. And perhaps I might even do a live. So watch for that. I'll actually put out an invite so that everyone can see it when I decide what day that's going to be and where I'm going to be at when that happens. Okay, so we're going to leave it right there. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. And I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.